We have a special Toastmaster tonight. However, before I introduce him, there's a small formality that I must cover. It's a special disclaimer and a warning. First, gentlemen, I ask you pay special attention to your wives and girlfriends and keep them under control at all times.
Good luck.
For you unaccompanied ladies, I'm asking you to be on your honor and to heed the following. Please remain seated at all times. I repeat, do not grab or touch in any way our special guest. I know that temptation is going to be very great, but I know you can all do it. I too understand what happens when you start to get sweaty thighs and your nipples get hard. This will be hard for me also. Toastmaster International, District 3, Saguaro Division, Area S4, and Blue Toastmasters. I will not be responsible for anything that happens as a result of your failure to follow the aforementioned warning. Now, with that little bit of shit out of the way, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster this evening, the Italian stud and consummate seducer of women, the one and only, and I can assure you there is only one, Advanced Muff Diver Gold, Frankie.
I know. Hey, all you ladies, calm down, I know you all want to be with Frankie, but you're going to have to share. Frankie likes sharing, Two is better than one. I love coming out here to sunny Arizona. The chicks out here are just plain hot, you know what I mean? All my Goombas back in Brooklyn, they love to hear about all my adventures when I come out here to Arizona. Especially the way you girls do it out here. Most of the girls out here do it with spurs on, and Frankie likes spurs, And then there's that rodeo fuck. You don't know what that is? That's where you just get on and you're doing it real good with her, and then you call her by a different name, and you got to stay on for 8 seconds. I personally like the spurs. Any woman can scratch you with her nails, but spurs take finesse, and it's rather erotic, if you notice what I mean. Anyway, one time one of my friends asked me, says, "Hey Frankie, how do you get into doing all this here funny shit all the time?" Well, let me tell you, it started when I was in school. I was what is called the class clown. That kind of has a connotation that there was only one, but sometimes there were 2 or 3 of them in the class. And our job was, because we didn't want to learn nothing, you wasn't going to learn nothing either. So we had a lot of fun doing that kind of shit. And I went to a Catholic school. And that place was an experience in itself and an inspiration, because it gave me a lot of stuff I could work on, a lot of irreverent stuff, about religious shit. And when you go to a Catholic school, Catholic school kids they're worse than the public school kids. Anyway, I enjoyed myself in Catholic school. I went to Our Lady of Perpetual Punishment. We had the sisters from the Order of the 18-inch ruler. Any of you go to a Catholic school, you know what I'm talking about, right? On the back of the knuckles with the 18-inch ruler. And it was a good time there at Our Lady of Perpetual Punishment, and I learned a lot of things. But one of the things that I really did, one of my routines was to make people laugh at the most inappropriate time, mind you. That's the key to the whole damn thing. I liked making people laugh when they were getting ready to take a drink. They had it in their mouth. There was no place else for it to go but out their nose. Milk was always good. That looked good. One day I caught little Timmy down in the cafeteria, and he had a mouthful of sandwich, and I did something to make him laugh. He passed an entire peanut butter sandwich through his nose. And Sister Mary, I'll whip your ass, said, "What are you doing, Timmy?" He could hardly breathe. She thought it was a frickin' miracle and took him to Father O'Malley to be debriefed. Today, though, that debriefed has a whole nother meaning. You know what I mean? The other thing I liked about going to Catholic school was the little uniforms that the girls wore. They wore the white blouses, the little plaid skirts with the suspenders that matched going up over their boobs. Looked nice, man. And those white knee-high stockings they wore turned me on. Still do to this day. You can't knock a good thing, you know? And then there was Teresa Costanza. 14 years old, built like a brick shithouse. My God. You know, and she never wore panties. And you're asking me, hey Frankie, how did you know she wasn't wearing panties? I was the guy who discovered putting mirrors on the toe of his shoe. Hey there, how you doing there, Teresa? Looking good there. Oh yeah. Fun and games. The other thing they used to do in Catholic school is the nuns, they'd catch the girls in the hallway. And if they thought that girl's skirt was too short, they'd make them kneel down right there on the floor and make sure that the skirt touched the floor. I always like girls on their knees anyway, so I'd stop and watch. Catholic school was great. But one of my favorite things of going to Catholic school was picking a date for the Saturday night dance. That was a real ritual, and me and the guys had it wired right down to the last little iota. You showed up in the morning about 8 o'clock at Our Lady of Perpetual Punishment, and you sat down in the back pews and you waited for the little girls to come in, and they would all go up to the front pews to have their confessions heard by Father O'Malley. Then they would slip in there one at a time into the confessional. The father would hear their confessions, and they'd come out and slide into a pew, and they'd say a bunch of Hail Marys, Our Fathers, go through the rosary beads 2 or 3 times, and then they'd walk up to the holy water font up front. And if they just stuck a finger in and blessed themselves, we would consider that kind of a no-go, you know? She didn't really do nothing too bad. But if they walked up to the font there and they stuck their hand in, you knew the hand job was in your future. Me, I hung out and waited for the final one. The one that would come out, she'd stay in that pew for like a half an hour praying. I think she had to make a trip to Lourdes or something, I don't know. She would go up to the holy water font, stick her hand down there, and pull up a little, put it in her mouth and gargle. That was my date for Saturday night. And now, live from Chandler, Arizona, it is Friday Night Blue. Yeah! You guys are great, you know that?
Okay.
Okay, now, we have a few functionaries that we need to introduce this evening and get this show on the road here. And our first functionary tonight is our timer back there, Mike Muir, also known as Mike Iron Man Muir. I asked him one time how he got the nickname, and he told me all his chicks and girlfriends called him that because they didn't know that a circumcised Jewish boy from the city could get that hard and for so long. So Mike Moore is going to be our timer tonight. Yeah, wave there, Mike, so the chicks know who you are. He says he's still good at, I don't know, 62 or something like that. Our table topics master tonight is Rick Klesak. Yay! So for any one of you who don't know Rick, he is sick pervert who loves women with big tits, and he's gay. He will definitely make you laugh your asses off tonight. Our general evaluator tonight is Barbara Trains. I'm not quite sure what she trains, but I do have it on impeccable sources that it has something to do with the Great Dane. I will leave this to your imagination. Moving along.
That was good.
What's going on back there, Becco?
That was good.
You know, I caught that guy, Becco, back there, that big dog. He was
Hey,
getting himself off
hey.
back there and not using his hands.
Yeah.
It was amazing, I couldn't believe it.